Lord Kṛṣṇa and Lord Balarāma are not two different personalities of Godhead. God is one without a second, but He expands Himself in many forms without their being separate from one another. They're all plenary expansions. The immediate expansion of Lord Kṛṣṇa is Baladeva, and Brahmā, born from the lotus flower from Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, is an expansion of Baladeva. This indicates that Krishna and Baladeva are not subjected to the regulations of the universe. On the contrary, the whole universe is under their subjugation. They appeared at the request of Brahmā to liberate the burden of the world, and they relieved the world by many superhuman activities so that everyone became happy and prosperous. Without the grace of the Lord, no one can become happy and prosperous. Because the happiness of the family of the Lord's devotees depends on the happiness of the Lord, Vidura first of all inquired about the well-being of the Lord. Homagyan timidandasya gyanana shalakya chakshumitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha Shri Chaitanya mano vistam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa garamayam dadati swavedantikam Katayata yasmin tuskurum sukurum bhavet Visvate vipriyatim shat Shri Chaitanya namnamitam Panchakalpataru vischa Kripa sindhu vyevicha Patitanam bhavnebhyo Vaishnavyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. God is one. In the Brahmā Samhita it says, Advaitam Achuktam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayornam Cha Videsha Dulabam Adulabam Atma Bhakto Govindam Haripusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Lord Govinda, the primeval Lord who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but is attainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of a blooming youth. So, Anantam Rupam, he has many forms, but God is one. Lord Balarāma is mentioned. He is the first expansion from Krishna. There's no difference actually between Krishna and Balarāma. The only difference, or spiritual variety you could say, is that Lord Balarāma is white and Krishna is black. And Prabhupada would say, who is stronger, Krishna or Balarāma? And if you look at the older editions of the Krishna book, you have Lord Balarāma leaning on Krishna's shoulder. So who's stronger? Krishna. Because Balarāma is resting on Krishna's shoulder. That was Prabhupada's explanation. So Lord Balarāma is Bhagavan, but he is known as Sevat Bhagavan, the Lord who serves. Lord Kṛṣṇa is known as Sevya Bhagavan, the Lord who is served. So Balarāma is God as a devotee. His whole existence is to be of unlimited service to Krishna. He manifests as his shoes, his umbrella, as Goloka, as his Brahman thread, the bed, etc. Actually, in our deity worship, in our worship of the Lord, all paraphernalia is non-different from Lord Balarāma. Especially the mridanga, we say yes, there's a mantra one chants before playing the mridanga as respect to Lord Balarāma. When we do deity worship, say we drop some paraphernalia on the floor, we're like, oh Balarāma, and touch it to our heads, it's worshipful. Even any sort of paraphernalia, we see that as non-different from the Supreme Lord, Lord Balarāma, as Sevak Bhagavan. And Lord Balarāma, he serves in all rasas, in Shantaras as his clothes, as the shoes, as the flute, and even the whole planet of Goloka. There's no place where he's not serving. In Dasya Ras, he's simply trying to give him pleasure. Whatever Krishna needs, he'll try and provide. In Vatsalya Ras, protect him like an elder brother, even being that role of a parent, and Krishna allowing, being subservient to Lord Balarāma. Lord Balarāma was dressed under a tree, and Krishna and the other cowboys would massage his feet and legs. And Lord Balarāma as an elder brother, has a job to look after his younger brother. So he's always chastised by Mother Yashoda to make sure Krishna gets enough to eat, to make sure he doesn't wrestle too rough with the other boys, to make sure he's always safe. So Mother Yashoda is also always making sure of this. And also in Madhurya Rasa, as Ananga Manjari, he expands to take part in the Madhurya Rasa pastimes. But Krishna has unlimited expansions, and there's expansions of the expansions. Ete Chamsa Kalapunsa, Krishna's too Bhagavan Swayam. So even Krishna is known as Bhagavan Swayam, the original personality of Godhead. But still, even though there's all these manifestations, incarnations, we see avatars mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Lila avatars, Mamantara avatars, Guna avatars, Shakti Avesa avatars, Purusha avatars, and I forgot one more, Yuga avatars. So, who is God? How is still God one? The other day, we were celebrating Snan Yatra on Sunday. I'm in London at the moment, and we had this crazy kirtan because there's two temples in London. There's one in central London, where they have Radha Landanishra and Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra and Gauranitai. And there's another temple, the Bhaktivedanta Manor, the one that was donated by George Harrison. They have the deities of Radha Gokulananda, Gauranitai, and Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. So two different temples. So the arrangements between the temples was that Jagannath will be taken to the manor, to the Bhaktivedanta Manor, for Snana Yatra, where everyone can line up and bathe and have so much room there. So Snana Yatra took place there, but the devotees of who reside in the temple where Jagannath resides, they're feeling separation, and they went crazy. It was like crazy 2-hour kirtan, setting up for Jagannath leaving to the Bhaktivedanta Manor. It was insane. Some reason one of the brahmacharis had like this baby powder that's used for Madanga. He just started throwing it everywhere, and then all this baby powder went everywhere, and the devotees were running up and down the temple, and they nearly ran onto the altar. So the altar's very close, so if you run too fast, so they were falling onto the altar nearly, and they're calling out to Jagannath, nearly like pleading him not to go. And they even started nearly stage diving. So they would climb up on the side of the temple and then jump into the crowd of devotees. And then the devotees would just throw them in the air like this. And some devotees were picked up, spun around, and they took their socks and put it on their head. They just went insane. I don't know what happened. It was just like in complete delirium because Jagannath is leaving. And then even when we followed Jagannath out to his cars to be taken to the manor, we took the kirtan downstairs, and then the brahmachari started running after the cars down the street. And this is like a public street in central London. The people were watching, what happened to these? What are these monks doing? They're running. And then when the car got too far, then everyone was like hitting the ground, bowing down. Yeah, so yeah, he went all the way there. So when we came back to the temple, there was one Muslim man standing outside, and I was chanting my rounds, and he asked me, so, what religion are you? I go, I'm Hare Krishna. And he goes, oh, you believe in God? I go, yes. I go, there's only one God. He goes, okay, good. But what do you call God? I go, we call God Krishna. Krishna means he's all attractive. He attracts all living entities. He's like, okay, very nice. And what about Rama? So I say, Rama, it's also Krishna, but he's in a different mood. And I try to explain that just like you also have a different mood in different places to different people. So at work you have a different mood, at home you have a different mood, towards your son or daughter is a different perspective for them, or to your wife, you don't behave the same way. So God he's the Supreme Father, he has unlimited relationships, so he has unlimited moods to portray himself. So there's only one God, but he's manifesting. So the Acharyas give a very good example of how there's one God, but many manifestations. So they have the example of the moon. So the moon has different phases, like quarter moon, half moon, and full moon. So there's only one moon. It's not like there's a different moon at different phases. But the moon is manifesting some of its potency, some of its power, or it's manifesting its full power in the full moon. So Krishna is like the full moon. It's the full manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, fully as Swayam Bhagavan. But the other phases of the moon, that's like the other incarnations. Like Ram, he has to always follow Dharma, no matter what. But Krishna doesn't, for example. So that's why Krishna is considered that full manifestation, the Supreme Person. So actually every expansion, incarnation, personal expansion is same in power. The Brahmā Samhita describes these personal expansions of the Lord, just like when you have one candle and you use it to light other candles. So each candle has the same flame and power, but the original candle is the Supreme, is Krishna himself. Oops. Yes, it's the same manifestation. So Krishna is the original candle there. And they exist simultaneously, and even sometimes they interact. So if you look at the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, when Lord Ram came into the assembly of Ravan, into the assembly of Janak Maharaj, and there was a competition for the hand of Sita, the daughter of Janak Maharaj. And the way to win her hand was that one had to lift the bow of Lord Shiva and string it. And the reason was that Janak Maharaj saw Sita. She was playing in the quarters, and the ball got stuck in the tree. So then she went around trying to find something to get the ball out of the tree. So she got the bow of Lord Shiva and knocked it out of the tree and put it back. So Janak Maharaj is like, okay, to find a suitable husband, we need to find someone that is of more strength than her, or of equal strength, because if they can't lift this bow, then it'll be a pretty bad situation for her. Who can protect her? So many princes came to try and lift the bow. Even Ravan came, no one could do it. And then Ram came, he lifted it, he strung it and broke it, and then won the hand of Sita. So then, when Ram was heading back to Ayodhya, then Parshuram appeared. Apparently the clouds got all dark and it all got thunderstorm, and with the speed of the wind, Parshuram appeared in front of Lord Ram. And he says, and Parshuram, he don't like Kshatriyas. He killed them 21 times. So he doesn't like Kshatriyas, and Ram is a Kshatriya. And he says, oh, I hear that you've strung or broke the bow of Lord Shiva. You think you're tough, right? And then he manifests this bow of Lord Vishnu. This is the bow of Lord Vishnu. You think you can handle this? And then Lord Ram, he goes, I'll try. He grabs it, puts an arrow on it, strings it back, and then he aims it at Parshuram and he says, where do you want me to shoot this arrow? And then Parshuram just disappears like this. So sometimes interactions, even between Lord himself nearly, And if we look at the 8th canto of the Bhagavatam, at the churning of the milk ocean, the Lord appears nearly, 7 or 8 times. When, first of all, the demigods went to the ocean of milk, and Sürasena Viṣṇu said, make a truce with the demons, because they lost the whole kingdom. So make a truce and use the logic of the snake and the mouse. So this logic means the mouse, he makes his home, digs a hole in the ground, makes his home, and it's very comfortable. So the snake doesn't attack the mouse right away. He waits till he makes the home and everything, and then the snake just goes in, has something to eat, and he has somewhere to stay. So use this logic. So churn the milk ocean and work with them, and then get the nectar of immortality, so you get strength to defeat them again. So this is the Lord Brahmā Viṣṇu said this. And then they approach the demons, and okay, let's do it. And they had to use this Mandara mountain, which is made of solid gold, as a churning rod into the ocean of milk. And no one could lift it. Even it described that many people, many devatas and personalities broke their arms and legs, got squished by the mountain. So then the Lord had to appear again on Garuda and lift the mountain and put it in the milk ocean. But then again, the mountain kept sinking into the ocean. So how to keep it up? So then the Lord again appeared as Kormadev. This transcendental tortoise is manifested into the waters to keep the rod up, the churning rod up of Mandara mountain. And it said that he had an itch on his shell, and this churning actually relieved that itch, and he was breathing in, out. It was like pleasure for him. It was like a service to the Lord. And it is said that, I don't know if you've been at the ocean recently, you see the waves come in and out. So actually that's the breathing of Kormadev. Nice, huh? Every time you go to the ocean now, you'll remember this. And also on top of Korma, the churning rod's not staying steady. So the Lord appeared again as this many-armed form of Vajita to keep it steady. And then again, many different things came out of the ocean. First of all, poison came out, and it started killing everyone, this hala hala poison. So then prayers were offered to Lord Shiva, who is also the Lord, but not the Lord at the same time. You could say he's a guna avatar. And he drank that poison and saved everyone, and whatever was left over, the reptiles like scorpions and snakes, maybe from Australia, they got the most of the poison. That's why they're very poisonous. And when many things came out, even the moon came from there, Lakshmi Devi came out, Aravata came out, so many things came out, and then finally Dhanvantari came with the pot of nectar, and the demons snatched it right away. And the demigods are like, oh no, what do we do? But the Lord again appeared as Mohini Murti, this beautiful form that instilled lust into the demons, but didn't bewilder the demigods, and took that, stole the nectar and fed it to the demigods. And all these are incarnations of the Lord, Supreme Personality Godhead. Even one more example, just to make it hit home, of the supremacy of Krishna, is when that Brahmana was trying to have children, and each one died, and he complained to Ugrasena that there's only eunuchs here, no one can protect us, it's all your fault. And Arjuna saying, what? Who do you think you're talking to? I am Arjuna, I'm the wielder of the Gandiva bow, I defeated Lord Shiva, I'm better than even Satyaki, I'm better than Krishna, even, like he was boasting. And he says, if you have another son, and if that son disappears or dies, then I'll jump into the fire. So again, his wife's pregnant, the wife of the Brahmana is pregnant, and he surrounds the whole house with like these mantraed arrows, like a whole net and everything to make sure no one can get in or out. And then the child was born and just disappeared into the sky. And then Arjuna's like, oh no, time to jump into the fire. And Krishna goes, hang on a minute, I know where they are, come with me. They jump on Krishna's chariot with these horses. They go through all the higher planetary systems. They go through the layers of the universe. And it's just dark. So then Krishna pulls out the Sudarshan chakra, and then light is there, and the horses keep going. They make it all the way to the abode of Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu welcomes Krishna and Arjuna. And he had the sons of that Brahmana. And Krishna asks, why did you take the sons? He goes, I want to have your darshan. I couldn't go there directly, so I stole them myself. So in the Bhagavatam it's revealed, Yan matya lalopayikam sayoga mai balam dasyata grihitam vishmapa panam swasyacha subhogade padam padam bhushana bhushana angam. The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. So usually you put ornaments on your body to make yourself look better. But Krishna, he puts ornaments on his body to make the ornaments look better. And it's described in the Dhammarastakam that when he's running and the earrings are swinging to and fro, actually they become more ecstatic. Everything in the spiritual is conscious. And they're like shark-shaped, they describe. But actually this shark, like in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, at a fish's eye, the shark. So I forget the Sanskrit word, but it's more like a dolphin than a shark, this type of animal. And these dolphin-like earrings are kissing the cheeks of Krishna, so as he's running, so they become more ecstatic, like that. But still, we have to understand why is there like a hierarchy if all of them are the Supreme Lord and all are eternal? Like we say, okay, Balarāma comes from Krishna, and then from Balarāma we get the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Aniruddha and Pradyumna, and then we get from that Sankarshan, Narayan, and then there's another Chaturvyuha that comes from Narayan, and then from that Sankarshan takes the role of Mahavishnu. From his body, he's in a transcendental slumber. From his body emanates universes, and then he expands himself into each universe as Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. He does his transcendental sweat, and then he lies in the half-filled ocean. From his navel comes Lord Brahmā, and Lord Brahmā is the engineer of the ingredients to make the 14 planetary systems. Then you have Sürasena Viṣṇu, who expands into the heart of every living entity, into every atom, and in between the atoms. So why this hierarchy, like one Lord comes from another, one from another? If they're all eternal, that means they've always existed, no one came from anyone. So why is it like Kṛṣṇa is like Swayam Bhagavan, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead? Well, like we said, he is the full manifestation, but also this hierarchy shows so we understand the relationship between each expansion, from one expansion to another. It's very nice to actually understand this hierarchy, because then we can see how the Lord is in control of everything. He's that we're not lost. There's never a time where things are out of control. If we're with the Lord, we're safe, we're secure. Maya dakshena prakriti suyite sacharacharam hetananena kuntiya jagaviparivapate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, working under my direction of Sana Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings under its rule. This manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Mata praratana kinchidastida nanjaya maya savamidam proktam suchimanaganaiva. O conqueror of wealth, there's no truth superior to me. Everything rests on me, just like pearls are strung on a thread. So, yeah, we all have kantimala, tulsi beads around our necks. You can see the beads, but you can't see the thread. So if you take the thread away, then the beads just go everywhere. Everything's out of control. So we should always see the thread within everything in our lives. Remember Krishna. That Krishna is behind whatever's going on in our lives, in the world, in the future, in the past, in the present. And then that's the way one can be happy and prosper. This is why the Lord descends. He's so compassionate. He descends once in a day of Brahmā. Yada yada hidamasya gane bhavati bharata abhutana madamasya tadatmana sajamiham parachara saranam vinasayata duskritam dhamma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practices, descend of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to establish religious principles. I myself appear, millennium after millennium. And when he appears, he does it in style. He's like a transcendental roadshow. From one universe to the next universe, he doesn't go alone. He's there arousing Krishna consciousness in the conditioned souls by performing amazing pastimes. We can see that with Krishna and Balarāma, such an amazing pastime. When Sürasena was attacking, they attacked Mathura for the first time, and then Krishna, on his own, he took care of all these soldiers, Akshuhinis, and described that there was like a river of blood, and the elephants were like islands, and the horses were like, and the limbs were like different fishes, and the hairs of the soldiers were like seaweed, and all the jewels that the soldiers were wearing were like pebbles and stones in that ocean river, you know. And then Balarāma, he decided to join the battle, and that river of blood overflooded everything again. Yeah. I like Balarāma and his violence, to be honest. I don't know why. Like with the Vida gorilla, I liked it when he took care of him. It was like very heroic, you know. He's throwing boulders at him. He's like, yeah, you know. And then, you know, he's fighting him with his club and plow at the same time. And they're just like cleaning the forest, fighting each other with trees and falling. You know, the trees disappeared, the mountains disappeared, and there was nothing left. And then the Vida gorilla starts beating the chest of Balarāma, and then find out, okay, it's enough, and he just breaks his collarbone, and then that's the end of the Vida gorilla. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pastimes. I could read that all the time. Yeah, so this is why the Lord performs pastimes. These pastimes actually give true happiness. Chittasya pasamolyo ve kavabisasya chashisha dasito sugamo yugot damaschama amudava. That's not the verse I was supposed to quote, but I like this verse too. It means that lunar authorities have demonstrated that the easiest way to subdue the agitating materialistic mind and achieve liberation is to see through the eye of scripture. It's a sacred duty, and it gives joy to the heart. Mat chittamakata prambodhi yantas parasparam kantayantas jamani chantu santichara namanticha. That those pure souls who have dedicated their chitta and pran to me, their consciousness and their life to Krishna, they always converse about me amongst each other, and this way they derive great bliss and satisfaction. What more do you want? Bliss and satisfaction by discussing Krishna Katha. So this pastimes allow us to have unlimited Krishna Katha. And these pastimes always go deeper and deeper and deeper. The more you go into it. His Holiness Hare Maharaj, he is very expert in, he's a disciple of Govinda Maharaj. And he can talk on a pastime for like a whole week and give all these like little details about the pastime given by acharyas. I like this kind of thing because I'm the type to watch a movie a few times so I can find like little things I missed, you know. So this is how we become happy, because you can't be happy without the Lord. And the Lord is so compassionate; He makes so many arrangements for us to connect back to Him. You know, unlimited incarnations, just like waves in the ocean. You cannot count the waves in the ocean; they're just unlimited. He sends His pure devotees. He sends Srila Prabhupada. He sends Jesus Christ. He sends Muhammad. He sends unlimited deities. He manifests here for us because we cannot see spirit. Ata Shri Krishna nama adi nama vet purnam indriya seva mukhi jiva dosai meva spiratida. We have blunt senses, we cannot see spirit. By service with the mouth and the tongue, the Lord reveals Himself to us. He sends scripture, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. When Lord Kṛṣṇa left this world, He took Dharma and Jnana with Him. And Kali took over in this dark age, but it's rising like the sun. The Srimad Bhagavatam, it dissipates the darkness. He manifests as a super soul in the heart. So all the different bodies you've taken, He doesn't need to be there. He knows the suffering you're going through. He knows all your thoughts and everything, and He's still there for you. We don't reveal everything to our friends. Not everything. Never happens. But Krishna knows everything in detail. He was there with you when it happened, and He still wants you with Him. He's more anxious for us to go back to Godhead than we are ourselves. Krishna at the end of the Bhagavad Gita said, Savadana Padichaja, Mamikam Sharanam Braja Hamtam Sava Papi Bhumo, Mokshami Masuchaha, that just surrender unto me, give up all these other plans, all these other processes of religious principles. Just do what I want. Just perform bhakti. And do not fear. I'll take care of all your reactions. Masucha, don't worry. But no one can do it in Kali Yuga. So the Lord has descended as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show how to surrender. And He never comes alone. Krishna Varantisa Krishna Sangopagasa Pashadam Yagyai Sankirtana Praya Janti Hi Sumedasa. That Lord who's always chanting Krishna's name. And He didn't come in the blackish form. He came in the golden form. Along with His associates and His weapons. It says His weapon is His beauty. And His associates are the Panchatattva. Say Panchatattva Vinili Pittaviyasiya. Puva Prema Pandarina Mudrigadiya. Panchalena Lutta Prema Kara Ashradan. Yata Yata Pri Krishna Pananikshan. Puna Puna Payaya Haya Mahamata. Nachakanda Hasagaya Yache Maramata. The characteristics of Krishna understood to be like a storehouse of transcendental love. Although this storehouse came with Krishna when He was present, but it was sealed. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with his associates, the Panchatattva, they broke the seal, plundered its contents. And the more they tasted it, the more their thirst grew for it. Trishna Bandhanukshan. The Panchatattva themselves danced again and again, and thus made it easier to drink that nectarian love of God. I like this part, because I find it easier to concentrate chanting when I'm dancing. I don't know about you. I personally cannot just sit there in kirtan melas for like hours on end and not dance. You know, my knees get sore sitting for so long. And if the beat picks up, come on, let's get up and do something. I mean, this only happened in like the last, since maybe 2012, this sort of thing. Like, okay, kirtan, we just sit there for hours. No, I mean, the beat picks up, we get up and dance, you know. And now there's a trend that like, you sing slow, say you got an hour slot, you sing slow for like 45 minutes, maybe even 50 minutes or 55 minutes, sing slow. And then the last 5 minutes, Hare Krishna, really, really fast. You can't even dance to it even. So it's like either too slow or too fast. Anyway, that's just my rant. But here we see the Panchatattva. They danced again and again. They made it easy to drink the nectarian love of God. They danced, they cried, they laughed, they chanted just like madmen. And in this way, they distributed love of Godhead. So how does that manifest? I mean, there's verses in the CC saying that, the Lord doesn't come alone. He came with Lord Nityananda, just like the sun and the moon. They've risen to give benedictions to all. And they delivered everyone. We may assume that it's by Harinam Sankirtan, but it's actually by the two Bhagavats, the book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat. So what is both of them instructing? The book Bhagavat is Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyaktakara Bhagavate Kara Barabara Kali Yugadama Nama Sankirtana Sara. That the Bhagavatam, Krishna's coverage, Goswami says, the Bhagavatam is revealing again and again. Kara Barabara means like saying again and again. Nama Sankirtana, Kali Yuga Dharma, Nama Sankirtana Sara. That the essence of Dharma in Kali Yuga is Nama Sankirtana. And then we find in the Lord Chaitanya's example as being a disciple of Ishvara Puri. Ishvara Puri instructing him not to go Bhakti Sanakara Sankirtan, Krishna Nama Upadesi Tava Savajan. Just dance and chant in the association of devotees and instruct others about the importance of Krishna Nama. In this way you'll deliver all the fallen conditioned souls. So it's through the scripture that we find our place of following the Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. And in this Harinam Sankirtan, one can experience true love, a love that's beyond time, space, and thought. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prevasavakavanoi, Sravanadi Sutichire Koriyadoi. That Krishna praying doesn't come from outside. It's already inside and it gets awakened. Koriyodaya, it rises like the sun by Shravanadi, by processes starting with Shravana and then chanting. So we can experience the spiritual world now by Harinam Sankirtan. Goloka Pravadana Harinam Sankirtan. The Goloka Vrindavan descends. You're at home as a spirit soul with Krishna again. Krishna is his holy name. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punasado Nijamukopinatam Nami Namano. That name is like Chintamani. All desires will be fulfilled. It's a touchstone. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It's not just some impersonal sound. It's Krishna in his full rasa, Akila Rasa Mritamurti, that complete form of nectarian rasa. That's why we do anything in this world. The nectar devotion says that why any living entity does anything is because of rasa, for mellow, for relationship, for love. Why does a man go to work every day? He gets money, but what does he use the money for? He uses it to support his family. That's why he has pictures of the family on the desk, just to remember. It's like, I hate this place so much. I'd have to do this all the time. And then he says, okay, for them, I'll do it. And then he goes home, and then especially when the kids are younger, not teenagers, they all run, oh, daddy's home. And they run. I've seen it. It's like the whole hard day of work, that's all just for them to receive you, See them happy. So this is rasa, this is taste in relationships, but we always fall short we're always limited by time. Someone has to die. Either we die or they die. That's why it hurts so much when someone passes away, because you can't relish that juice between loving exchanges. It's gone. So then imagine when you die, all your relationships you built up in this lifetime just cut off. That's the pain. That's time, love. That's the material love that's bounded by time. And bounded by space. Sometimes we cannot always be around those that we love. And over time, you lose that affection out of sight, out of mind. Like that. And then we're limited by thought. just by thinking the person doesn't bring the person right there and there. But when we had report love in Krishna, then that's what Lord Chaitanya gave us. That even in separation, the gopis felt Krishna's presence even more intensely. And that's what Lord Chaitanya was trying to give to the most highest intense love, the intense experience of Krishna in such a deeper way. So we have to join the family of devotees by making Krishna happy. By this dancing and chanting and ecstasy, Krishna is very happy because it will increase the family further more and more. Because that's what it means to be a devotee. These Shatraj Khan asked Krishna, how do you know who's a devotee? A Vaishnava is one who chants Krishna's name once. So let us increase our family, Krishna's family, the Achyuta Gotra, the infallible family, by chanting Hare Krishna and letting us to hear and chant the holy name. Hare Krishna. Is there any comments or questions?
Very, very beautiful Krishna Katha. And actually when you were speaking, I was reminded of the pastimes of Prakashananda and Lord Chaitanya. Prakashananda was trying to criticize Lord Chaitanya. You are a sannyasi. You have to study. But you're not studying, you're just on the street singing and dancing. That is not the duty of sannyasis. No, so people are very much, people know you on the street, chanting, dancing. But it's also very wonderfully and beautifully hearing you because, wow. Thank you so much for speaking because it was very wonderful. And I was reminiscing the past time, I wish I were there, the Snowmayatra. How they do it, it's so wild.
It was so wild, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
I think it was even a live stream of it. I don't know if you can see what was going on, but it was crazy.
I mean, the description is so beautiful. I mean, you can really get into it because of hearing the way you were describing it. So, if anyone may have questions, comments, realizations you would want to ask or share, please. You may use your physical hand or the hand emoji, and you'll be asked to unmute to speak or share your realizations. Prabhuji, I would need your help with the statement made in the purport here, because I think it's English language, and I need help. Because Srila Prabhupada says the immediate expansion of Lord Kṛṣṇa is Baladeva, and Brahmā, born from the lotus flower from Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, is an expansion of Baladeva. So, my understanding is that Lord Brahmā is an expansion of Baladeva. And if Lord Brahmā is an expansion of Baladeva, which means Lord Brahmā is not a Jiva Tattva. Is that what it means?
No. Like everyone's an expansion of the Lord. But then there's different... So we have immediate expansion, and then we have it didn't say that Lord Brahmā is an immediate expansion. So, Brahmā is a jiva, which is Vivinamsa, and that means living entity, fragmental part and parcel. And then we have an amsa, and then that means personal expansion. So that's not like the candle and the many candles example given in the Brahma Samhita. The jiva's expansion, that's more like the sparks that are coming from a big flame. So sometimes you see sparks coming out. So sometimes the sparks, they fall out of the big fire and fall onto the ground, lose their illumination. So that's more of the jiva. We are more like that. We are not equal in power as the Supreme Lord. So I think the word that defines the difference was immediate expansion and expansion. That was the difference. I can't remember the Sanskrit terms. I think it's like Vaibhav Prakash. I think that's Baladeva. That's the type of expansion he is. Hopefully, unless someone has to correct me.
Great. See, it's a bit confusing sometimes because, of course, there was one devotee who spoke yesterday, and he rightfully said that the activities in the Bhagavatam are not always chronological. So there are different times that Lord Brahmā is mentioned, but it sometimes refers to a different Brahmā in a different dispensation. But I had read somewhere, I can't find it now, but I had read somewhere where Srila Prabhupada stated that this very present Brahmā, who has spent half of his 100 years already, is a manifestation of Lord Vishnu. So that will make other Brahmas, which are like bewildered and things like that, to be different Brahma. But like I'm saying, it's sometimes difficult to know which Brahma is being referred to in the scriptures. Thank you for the answer.
That's okay. Just what you said, like Brahmā is a post, and anyone can, the most pious personality in the universe takes such a post. But even if there is not such a personality available, the Lord himself will even expand to take the post of Brahmā. So then in that case, then Brahmā would be the Supreme Lord. Yeah. But otherwise, he's usually a jiva. Yeah.
Well, I think I had one other question, but I'll wait to see if someone else has something to ask.
Okay.
Does anyone have something to ask or share? See,
Oh, good.
I was very much impressed when you said you love Lord Balarāma so much. I mean, I have some love for Lord Balarāma, but I don't love him that much. Because he doesn't like to play. You know, it's not like Lord Kṛṣṇa.
Well, I mean, I love him. You can love him more as Lord Nityananda, you know.
Yeah, okay, good.
As Lord Nityananda is like more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. And, you know, Lord Nityananda's existence is all about trying to glorify Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya is known as the most merciful incarnation. And in order to do that, he delivered Jagai Mara, which is a great boon for us. Because if the Lord came and killed Jagai Mara, then he would have to kill all of us. But because Lord Nityananda felt the fear of Lord Chaitanya, then, you know, Lord Chaitanya, okay, we'll deliver you too, then. You know, we're getting delivered by Lord Chaitanya. This is, actually in Kali Yuga, it's impossible for us to do such things. It's only by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. You know, our backgrounds and our enthusiasm, you could say, towards spiritual life is like very meager. But just by the glance of Lord Chaitanya, such an inspiration has occurred, and as it's going forward and getting bigger and bigger. So it's the winning side. We think the demons are getting more powerful, more stronger, but actually it's Lord Chaitanya's set up for the Sankirtan movement to shine greater, just like a jewel on a black background looks even more greater. So we have to stay on the winning side, continue chanting, continue serving, continue reading the Bhagavatam, and somehow connect others to Krishna, give them prasadam, give them the holy name, give them a book, somehow give some mercy, because this is the way we stay connected to Lord Chaitanya. This is his main thing, connecting others to Krishna. And it doesn't matter if you're qualified or not. You don't need to. If you got mercy, you can give. We all got mercy. That's why we're here listening. That means we've attained mercy to be like, yeah, let me listen to the Bhagavatam. So we should not underestimate ourselves even. We have some mercy to give. And then when you give that mercy, Lord Chaitanya gives you gifts you cannot imagine. A dream, a life beyond your dreams. This is this is the roller coaster ride offered by Lord Chaitanya and the Bhagavatam.
Yeah. Thank you so much. When you said, of course, that's what the scriptures say, that Lord Kṛṣṇa appears once in the day of Lord Brahmā. Does this refer to Vasudeva Krishna or Lord Chaitanya or both?
Oh, yes. So from my understanding, Krishna only comes once in the day of Brahmā, and along with that same day, Lord Chaitanya also comes once. This particular incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. There's also Yuga Avatar and other Kali Yugas that promote Harinam Sankirtan, but it's a Vishnu expansion, and the goal is given of Vaikuntha. So this particular Lord Chaitanya giving the love of Vrindavan, and that goal that's only once in a day in Brahmā. So the next time Lord Chaitanya comes is in 8,640,000,000 years. So we just came off 500 years. So it's just happened, This flood of love of God coming from Mayapur that's gonna drown everyone. It's just happened, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita is just a expansion of the Bhagavatam, because if you look at the introduction of the Bhagavatam, we have the life of Lord Chaitanya. That's how you live. Bhagavatam is the life of Lord Chaitanya, and particularly of the chanting of the holy name is the main activity. Also, a nice thing that I liked in the introduction is that the urge of the soul, in the nectar instruction we have 6 urges. The urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, the mind, demands, anger, and speech. So, what's the urge of the soul? These urges. What's the urge of the soul? So the urge of the soul is Srimad Bhagavatam. Literally, Nityam Bhagavat Sevya, to always serve the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada in the class on the prayers of Queen Kunti said that Nityam Bhagavat Sevya means to always hear and read Bhagavatam, or always try to follow or execute the instruction of the spiritual master. These two. So, we can be part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Gora Lila here and now, being part of Prabhupada's movement. He's the commander-in-chief that's been sent out to capture, everyone that left India pretty much, to join Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. So we're the pioneers, because it's just 500 years. They're going to talk about all of us, in the future years.
Thank you so much.
They're going to talk about Sahadev. Oh, he put this Hare Krishna Africa platform.
Rinamananda on the streets of the world. But it's so beautiful because, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have 72 Chatru viewers making one day of Lord Brahmā. And out of these 72, Lord Chaitanya appears in only one of the 72 Kali Yugas. And we happen to appear in this universe, in this world, that, like you rightly said, that's 500 years after Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So how fortunate we are.
We are so fortunate.
We pray that we can take such advantage and make good use of it.
It says that if you're attracted to logic and argument, to apply your logic to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and this way you always live in wonder.
Yeah.
This Lord Chaitanya factor is like, just changes everything.
Everything. Well, Prabhuji, we can't thank you enough. It seems to be sometimes when you listen to class, you hear things that you probably did not know before, or even if you knew, you didn't really accept it the way it was. And there are times you listen to class and you hear what you knew all along, and that really fulfills you so much. And one thing you said, which I have always been thinking of, is there is a difference between bhajan and kirtan. You know, bhajan, you sit down, soothing, slow, singing, glorifying the Lord. And then kirtan means action, you know. You got to stand up and you have to move your body, you know. Mm-hmm. So I am like your humble self also. I prefer kirtan to bhajan. Bhajan is beautiful. No two ways about that. Bhajan is beautiful. But my preference is kirtan. And I hope that someday, and maybe in the association, so we can sing and dance together.
Yeah, that would be best.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
I very much appreciate kirtan. Because Lord Chaitanya, even when he did kirtan on the street, he has his associates, they do such transcendental kirtan, which is reserved for very, very few, you know. Yeah, so the kirtan is the essence.
Yeah, kirtan, Sada Hare. This is our mantra. Yeah, Giridhari Puja Mataji, she's trying to get me to come to West Africa. And I don't know, I really want to see everyone dance there, to be honest.
Yeah, in West Africa, you will love it because the devotees, by nature, love to sing and dance.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just part of the culture.
My spiritual master says in Africa, every step's a dance and every word's a song.
We're mimicking the spiritual world. Yes.